Hello, everyone. Okay, we're recording. I am gonna make one of my chicken recipes. First, we got some the rest of because I froze half of that package of boneless chicken thighs. So I just defrosted the other half of the boneless chicken strips, is what they are. So I used half of it when I put it for my buffalo chicken salad, and the other half when I prepackaged it. I put it in the freezer. So before we go into that, I'm going to show you how I do like a turning barbecue sauce into my own marinade. For starters, we're going to use soy sauce, but we're going to do this step first. I use Sweet Baby Ray's if I don't feel like making fully my own, but I end up making it into a marinade for the chicken. Sweet Baby Ray's honey barbecue sauce. Depending on how much food you're making, it's okay. It still feels like I got a quarter bottle in here, but I hate when it makes that noise. Okay. So, it's a squirt bottle, so this is, you can see how much I used. If I had to guess, I would say like a quarter cup of the Sweet Baby Ray's honey barbecue sauce. Then what I do is I take the soy sauce. I put like that. You don't want to overdo it with soy sauce unless you like your stuff extremely salty. That's that. Then use some Frank's Red Hot Original. About, I'd say 5 drizzles. We're going to take some apple cider vinegar. We're just going to go like that, just enough to give it that acidy taste. We're going to use some red cooking wine. About that much. Say about a tablespoon and a half. Then I use literally a couple of drizzles of steak sauce. Doesn't matter the brand. This is the cheapest brand in our area. I'd say about not even a full, not even a half a teaspoon of steak sauce, if you're trying to measure it. Then I use some Country Sweet Best Cooking Sauce, hot. You don't want to overdo that, so I'd say about a tablespoon. Then I'm going to take the rest of my savory tomato, basil, and oregano seasoning packet. We're going to put it in there like that. I have literally, I'll show you, you can see, not even that much left of my Lipton noodle seasoning pack from the homemade dressing I put it in, so we're going to use the last bit of that. Like that. A little bit of the chicken powder. It's in the the containers of the Bouillon cubes. But it's actually the chicken powder. Because I put it on the chicken too, so I don't put too much in. But I do a couple shakes with it. I used to use some 2-minute marinade lemon and basil. I do about a teaspoon, half a teaspoon. And then I use some a little bit of Frank's Red Hot Stinging Honey Garlic Sauce. We're going to use about 1/4 of a teaspoon. Oh, I almost forgot the last key ingredient and that sauce. Sorry, this is a big jar of mayonnaise. I have a tablespoon. I'm going to do 2 tablespoons of mayo. And I don't do too many seasonings of my seasonings in there just because I put the seasonings on the chicken. But I am going to use some adobo seasoning in there. Like literally just a few sprinkles. And then we're going to use some minced onion. I use some in the sauce, but I use some on my chicken as well. You will see towards the end of the video when the chicken's almost done, we will use some mozzarella shredded cheese, some Colby Jack shredded cheese, a little bit of the crumbled blue cheese, a little bit of the feta blue cheese, and ricotta. We're going to use a beef Bouillon cube. So you just open it up. And I throw it right in there like that. And then go back to mixing. Because what the mayonnaise ends up doing is helping be able to create that barrier to where it will stick to the chicken. Will you give me a cup of water? Because I got to pour it in the pan. I need it measured, Junior. I only want a cup of water. You can use that. Let's put it on top of that mayonnaise for a minute. I'll organize these all out better once I, if they're still kind of frozen a little bit, you can just, because I usually defrost it in the microwave about, it takes about 15 minutes to defrost it. And so kind of a little frozen. Mind you, I have my oven preheated to 400. Before I even started these steps, I started preheating the oven. You'll see what I'm doing with the corn on the cob next. I just get this step done first. I put a little bit of the, this is a garlic butter spread. You can buy it in your deli. Then I put it in here like this. Let some of the excess come off. I almost forgot this step. Forgot I'm on video, so I want to show you. Just butter it. Throw it in. Get it out of the marinade. Some more butter on this one. You don't need to do it over across the whole piece of chicken, just over half. You don't need to do it on both sides, just the one side. I usually add some melted butter in there too. That's literally about 2 tablespoons of butter melted in the microwave. And the butter gives it, it ties in with the rest of it. The melted butter ties in the rest of it. Get back to doing this. A little bit of butter. Spread into the marinade. And you pick it up. Put it inside there. Okay. You grab that bowl from the melted butter right there, please, in the mayonnaise. I almost forgot to put that there. Sometimes no matter how many of them I do, you always want to put it butter side down in the marinade so when you go to pick it up, you're actually picking it up. Almost there. I think I got this one more piece left after this. Last piece. And then I'll go wash my hands and rinse the bowl and the knife. Okay, before I do anything else, I'm gonna
You okay? No? Yes. Hold on, she'll be back.
Just cleaning off that bowl so it doesn't sit. Washing my hands in the...
Is there hot water to melt that? I'll get it. We'll go back to your
Okay. I gotta get in the oven. Okay, next step, guys. After I put my I gotta put my seasoning on now, which is just my adobo seasoning again. This is the first time we've used this one, but this is the lemon pepper. Just sprinkle some all the way across all pieces of chicken. Then we're gonna take it. That's the last step. Okay. Then we take the lemon powder, like this across the chicken. We take some minced onion. Just sort of a thin layer across your each piece of chicken. Then I use onion powder. I haven't made this in a while. There we go. Then we're going to take, I have seasoned flour here, all-purpose seasoned flour. And I just go like this. Huh?
It's got dill in it.
Yeah, this is the seasoned flour. It actually has dill seasoning in it. Okay. Then what I do is I have about a cup of water right here.
Dill and lemon pepper.
Cause see, when the water mixed with the flour end up cooking, it's gonna turn it into a gravy. Which then I'm gonna then put more. That's why I don't do too much on the chicken. There we go. I coat it. Onion powder again. So the point is, you definitely want to make sure that it has those layers of flavors. Then I take. I'm gonna get me the rag, please. About 2 tablespoons of butter per section. So we're going to do 2 tablespoons of butter there. Altogether, I use about a stick of butter on this recipe. As far as, and we put some there. I said the rag, but it's wet. I have to clean up the flour.
You mean the sponge?
Yes. Hold on 1 second, guys. You can dump the rest of that, the flour. Clean my hands a little bit. Because the flour I just had. So now, add a little bit. Come on, pick that up.
Oh,
I just went under the chair. So then, sorry, your lid to the soy sauce fell on the ground. Then I take 2 bouillon cubes, bouillon cubes, because the beef gives it the flavor. I put 1 beef right there. I put 1 right here in the middle. So I can cook down in there. Okay. Next, you want to take a spoon, grab your, because you got your corn on the cob already. What you call it? Here, I put 1 little piece, I forget, of the husk. Then I take and go like this. I put it, make sure I get it all around the corn on the cob. Make sure you have a rag handy for this recipe. So while you're doing the butter, your butter don't get on your seasoning. So I go like that. Flip it, a little more of the adobo. Then I take some of the chicken powder. Go like this with it. Then you take your second piece of corn. You can make more corn than this. It just depends on your family size. It's just me and my husband eating right now. So this is going to be for me and my husband. That's why I only got 2. Same step as the first one. And I take the seasoning, go around it. Then I take the chicken powder and put it on there like that. And some onion powder. Just like that. And some minced onion. Then my husband's gonna go put it in the oven. Put the timer on the oven on the stove for have to get it in there for 15 minutes. It's going in a oven that's already preheated, been preheated to 400. That's gonna go in there for about, I'd say, 15 minutes the first half before you flip it. 15 minutes for the last half.
Hopefully I have it there. Go out and sit down and watch your show.
Until this is done.
You know, wait a minute.
Not until this is done. I guess that's it's all on video. Can you help take care of some of these seasonings and stuff? And pause the video. We'll be right back, guys, when it gets closer to being